Great. We are about to correct our EPB page 113, which is about other uses of capitalization, which we learned about yesterday. So here's page 113, numbers 1 through 7. Now I know up on the smart board it might be a little dim for my in-person learners, so I will read it out loud. So what you were supposed to do is for numbers 1 through 7, you were supposed to rewrite each phrase and use the correct capitalization. So for number 1, fall colors in the north, you should have rewritten it and capitalized the N in north because it is a direction. For number 2, President George Washington, you should have capitalized the P in president, the G in George, and the W in Washington because president is his title and then George Washington is a name. Yes, Max? We do not uppercase seasons. We capitalize months, but we do not capitalize seasons. Good question. Number 3, a poem by T.S. Eliot. We should have capitalized the T and S for initials and the E in Eliot, because T and S are initials and Eliot is his last name. Number 4, this is the start of the end. You would rewrite it, and because it's a direct quote, it has quotation marks around it. Remember, we always capitalize the first word, the start of the first word in a direct quotation. So the T in this is what we would capitalize. Number 5, my sister and I, you would just capitalize the I because they're not saying the sister's name. For number 6, the mountains in the west, you would rewrite it and capitalize the W in west because west is a direction. Number 7, Mr. Thomas A. Williams, you would capitalize the M in Mr., T in Thomas, the A, and then the W in Williams because that is his full name. And then whenever there's a Mr., Miss, Ms., Mrs., you would always capitalize that because it's a title. Questions on 1 through 7? All right, then let's go on to 8 through 13. So 8 through 13, they gave you a name, and you were supposed to rewrite the name and use an initial, though, for the middle name. So for number 8, they said Jonathan Thomas Brenner. So you should have rewritten it as Jonathan T. Brenner. Still should have capitalized Jonathan, still should have capitalized Brenner, but the Thomas, you would have turned into a capital T with a period after it because it's an initial. Awesome. Number 9, Jeffrey Stephen Chandler, you should have written as Jeffrey S. Chandler. Make sure those initials are capitalized. Number 10, Miss Jolena Marie Kinney. You should have written as Miss Jolena M. Kinney. Number 11, Ryoko June, and I think it's Liu. You should have rewritten as Ryoko J. Liu. Number 12, Sandra Davis McMahon, I think. You would rewrite as Sandra D. McMahon. And then number 13, Alice Annabelle Mooney, you should have rewritten as Alice A. Mooney. Are there questions on those ones? Did it make sense turning that middle name into an initial? Yeah? Awesome. Okay, then we had 14 through 17. So for 14 through 17, you were supposed to rewrite each sentence using capital letters where needed. They said to use underlining for italicized words. What they meant, and I know some of you thought that meant that they had italicized the words. They didn't explain it very clearly. What they meant was if it was like a book title or something that you would normally italicize while typing, they wanted you to underline it when you were writing it out. So if you didn't get that part, that's totally okay. Then I want you to focus on the capitalization and making sure you got that. So for number 14, you should have written Miss Hodges, capitalize both of those, instructed, comma. Be sure, and you should have capitalized the B and B because that is the first word of a direct quote. Be sure to drink plenty of water on your hike. Then for number 15, you should have written this article, capitalized this, because it's the start of a sentence, written by Joseph Baines, and you should have capitalized the B in Baines, was published last March, and you should have capitalized the M in March. And I know that they already capitalized Joseph, so that's why I didn't mention that one. Number 16, Ulrich, capitalized, who was born in Germany, which should be capitalized, traveled the United States, both of those should be capitalized, United States, last summer. And then number 17, can, and that should be capitalized, we plan a trip to the museum, that should be capitalized, of science, that should be capitalized, and industry, that should be capitalized, asked Mr. James. And those should both be capitalized as they have it. Were there questions on 14 through 17? Questions? All right, here's what I need from you. When I say go, you are going to leave everything as it is, take a little stretch break, and then we're going to line up at the door for mass. My 4 mass speakers will need to be at the front of the line. Quickly. Elena, quickly. Go ahead. I'm talking quick.
I forgot my water bottle and my walker. Can I go get it?
Yes.